Hey guys, it's Lex
and Courtney,
and you are listening to another episode of The Pleasure's All Yours. We are here encouraging sexual liberation in the Black and queer communities.
Yes, we are here to laugh, learn, and discover all the ways that the pleasure is
all yours.
It's all yours, baby. What's up, girl?
What's up?
I'm good. How are you today? It's Saturday morning. I love recording on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, and it's so nice outside.
Yeah, it is for now.
Yeah, I know it's gonna get like really hot by the time we walk back to our cars. It'll have gone up like 6 degrees.
Definitely.
So yeah, that'll be cute.
If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see we're in a different room than we usually are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but it's just a call out.
Just so you know, bitch, it was intentional and there's a reason.
What's going on? How was your week?
My week was good. It's like getting busier at work. It's like our busiest time of year, like summer, fall. So like I have more duties and more work, especially because like the company is expanding. So I just have more work. But, I'm very proud of myself because I had a lot of really bad focus days during the week and I still finished my work by the deadline that I set for myself. Which is 2 days before the deadline that my manager sets for me.
Love it.
My director, he also called me the all-star of the team, which I also really loved. Because I be working my fucking ass off.
Yes.
I just like to do a good job at things. Yeah. So, I also started all of my meds in the past week. So, I Zoloft one, and then I started my Adderall this morning. And
have you already taken your Zoloft?
Yeah, I took my Adderall because so I was looking it up and there are different doctors that say you don't have to eat when you take your Adderall. Yeah. You should take it on an empty stomach. I'm afraid of nausea.
Yeah, me too.
And pill nausea is the worst kind,
bro.
Yeah, because I will literally go make myself throw up to get rid of the feeling. So I just had a cute Chick-fil-A breakfast. Okay. And right after I took my Adderall, and then after I finished eating, I went ahead and took my Zoloft because I have to eat with that one. So, feeling a lot of things, not a lot of things. I realized how much my anxiety really is tied to my ADHD because I don't feel anxious. And usually I'm feeling anxious, so I don't feel anxious, which is really nice.
I mean, Adderall pretty much works right away.
Yeah.
But I know you sometimes don't feel the effects of the Zoloft for a while.
Yeah, the pharmacist said 5 to 6 weeks before you really start to.
Okay. I've never taken them both at the same time. Mm-hmm. They seem it feels like they would do different things. So I'd be what does that feel like? But I guess you'll have to tell me in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the Zoloft for a week before I started the Adderall. Yeah. And it didn't make me feel too much of anything, so there's that. But the Adderall really when I tell you it's so hard for me to get my day started, and I've been watching The Ultimatum South Africa with Red. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, before we get too far into the episode, my outfit today is very cute, okay? And Red styled my outfit. Please, I have to let you guys know that, or she will beat me up.
Perfect.
So
it
there's that.
So cute. She did a great job.
Thank you. I was kind of on the fence about the vest, but I think it's because my titties weren't out.
Okay. So your titties are out though.
But because I unbuttoned it.
Okay. I feel like your titties would still be out if you just.
If I'm sitting, absolutely. If you can see my cleavage, absolutely. When I'm sitting. Yeah. But if I'm standing up, I look kind of boxy.
Oh, okay.
And I don't like that.
I understand that. Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, this is probably as masked as I've ever seen you." In the outfit when it was all buttoned up.
Okay.
I was like, I don't like that. Okay. I even FaceTimed our friend Ren.
Yeah.
And I was standing in the camera when they picked up with my hands in my pockets, and they were like, "Dude, you look so awkward. What's going on?"
And it's because you just didn't feel feminine enough?
No. And I like that part about me. So, and then, I took my hair down. I beat my face.
Yeah.
So, feeling.
Oh, you took your hair down. Oh my God.
Did indeed.
Okay. That makes sense.
I did indeed. My hair, it just looks so good.
It looks good. It looks like it grew too.
Yeah,
it's very healthy. It looks thick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. How are you? How was your week?
It was good. I had a pretty solid week, I would say, overall. I was home this week, which is always a blessing.
Yeah.
I spent time with my parents. That was nice. What else did I do? Oh, I had to go into the office, which was I don't know why I complain about having to go into the office. They give us free food. It's a time for everybody to just honestly like sit around and just talk. So like that's literally all I did. I didn't do any work while I was there for like 7 hours. We just sat in a circle in our rolly chairs and just like gossiping. Literally, it was horrible. But
I feel like maybe that's what they have the office there for.
Yeah,
it's just to have a cute little kiki,
to
build morale. With the team.
Yeah, and you know my team travels so much, so we don't see each other. So like when we do see each other, we're like, oh, I haven't seen you in 3 months. Tell me about all these things, or catch me up on all these things. And like both me and my like little work bestie both broke up with people at that time, and we were like telling each other like that whole story. So it was a good day.
Yeah,
it was a good day. Yeah. What else did we do?
Oh, we went out to the gay bars on a random Tuesday.
Oh, we did. Yeah, it wasn't obviously what we expected. I do want to go back on Thursday to the other place, but you know. It was so fun.
Yeah, there were drag queens. And one thing I will say about black gays, they throw ass. Black gay men throwing ass like a boomerang in a whole circle, like earthquaking. I'm like, damn, bitch, what? Then you drop it into a split? Like, but I will also say, follow that up with, whenever they are twerking and they're facing me, the only thing I can think is like, your dick is just flopping all over the place in those pants.
Does that hurt?
Is that uncomfortable?
How are your balls?
Because my coochie don't move. So
no, they were throwing that ass.
They were throwing that ass.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So if you have never listened to an episode of The Pleasure's All Yours, we like to start off every episode with a pleasure moment. Mm-hmm. And that's just basically where we tell you like our best part of our week, the most pleasurable part of our week. It can be as big as winning the lottery, and it could be as small as getting a cup of coffee. Lex, what is your pleasure moment?
I think I don't really know. I think it may have just been like getting my meds and starting them.
Oh yeah.
Because that I've been wanting to do that for so long, so that like made me feel really accomplished that I went through the whole process, especially because like it took so many steps, and that is usually what deters me from doing things, is how many steps it takes. So really proud of myself for sticking to it, getting medicated. And my insurance covered it. I literally paid $12 for all my meds.
I love it. And is it a 30-day supply?
So it's a 30-day supply.
That's amazing. $12 a month to be regulated is a blessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't count like, what I pay for the insurance.
Right. Which like, again, a blessing. So the fact that we even have insurance is a blessing.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Absolutely. I love that.
Shout out to my job for that.
Yeah, that is solid.
Yeah.
Pleasure moment this week was probably opening a bottle of, I had to help my dad hang some curtains. And then like when we were done, I was about to leave, and he opened a bottle of wine. He was like, "Do you want a glass of wine?" And I was like, sure. Like my mother doesn't like when we both drink because I'm on meds and my dad's old. Yeah. So he needs to stop drinking as much.
She wasn't in the house.
She wasn't in the house. So we were just kikiing it up in the kitchen, drinking. We finished a whole bottle of wine and we were just chatting, and my dad is hilarious. So I haven't been able to spend a lot of time with him. So the fact that we were able to just like hang out, and it was a vibe. And then I was like my little pregame to our night out. Yeah. So that was definitely my pleasure moment, was just chatting. And it's his birthday on Sunday, so maybe I'll like send him this little clip.
Yeah, come on, Gemini.
Very much so. He has Kanye West energy, but like not as like offensive. Just think of like all the best parts of his crazy. Yeah. That's like my dad.
Okay, love that.
Yeah. Oh my God, no. Can I retract my pleasure moment?
Yeah.
Oh, my best friend had his baby. Oh my God, let me show you a picture really quick. Oh my God, she's so beautiful.
I love
Oh my
that.
God, she was born yesterday.
Oh, that's great.
She's so sweet and cute. Oh my God, she looks like a nigga. Oh my God.
And
that is a nigga. Hold on, let me turn up the brightness.
Oh, so cute.
She got her daddy's forehead.
Absolutely. And his nose.
Oh. Yeah. She's just the sweetest little thing. I can't wait to see her and meet her. And I just like, I love her.
Did they decide on a godparent?
No, and I'm not even going to ask. I'm sure it's going to be one of, let me not. Anyway, that's fine. I understand if it's not me, because one, I'm not in a position to be a godparent. Yeah. Maybe in 15 years, maybe in 10 years. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know if your godparent can like smoke as much as I smoke. I just feel like.
I feel like they can. What does that have to do with?
I guess it just, the parents, are a little different. Like your child, I know you'd be like, oh, that doesn't affect.
I'd be like, just
anything.
don't do it.
Just don't. Yeah, just
like,
don't.
I don't give a fuck.
But I feel like they think because they're not smokers, they feel like that's all I do all the time, and like I like that I'm like the worst kind of pothead.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that is going to influence their choice in picking their godparent, and I think it's going to be one of her family members. I just have a feeling it's going to be like her sister or a sibling or like something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility,
not just the name,
absolutely,
or the title. I mean,
and that's why I'm okay with being the fun auntie. Like I'm fine with that. I'm cool.
I really feel like that's a good position. I definitely. I also would like to retract my pleasure moment.
Okay, what was your pleasure moment?
Because Grace, my niece called me.
Yeah,
and I was at work, but I saw that she called, and I like went outside and. As soon as she picked up the phone again, she's, Auntie, all my teeth grew in, look. And like just big smile in the thing. And then she's like showing me all the new outfits she got.
I love that.
Honestly, I'm about to be in the 3rd grade. I was like, girl, and I was like, did you get prettier since the last time I saw you? I feel like you did. I'm like, how do you do that? And she like was like, I don't know. I do my own hair though. I'm like, yeah, girl.
Yes, girl.
Yes, girl.
And that's a big flex. Yes, come do my hair.
Yes, and then she was just saying how like she's been able to see my brother, which is really nice, and she's also been able to see her other siblings, which is really nice.
That's great. More kids to be around, so she can be a kid around some kids.
Exactly. And then I was like telling her that towards the end of the summer I want to try to like drive out there, and I was like, what should I bring you when I come drive out there? Girl, she had her list ready.
She said, girl, I have been writing it right here in my notes.
She was ready. A water slide is on there.
Okay, make it happen.
I'm gonna get her a water slide.
She said she want a water slide. Get a water slide.
I'm gonna get her one.
Even if it's just a little tarp you got from Home Depot and a hose in the back.
Yeah, but that's my babes. I love her. It was like just really nice to talk to her, and she's just, Auntie, I miss you. I miss you so much. I miss you every day I open my eyes. I'm like,
oh, she's so sweet.
She's the sweetest thing ever. I love her so much.
Yeah, that's definitely a pleasure moment.
Yeah.
I'm not a kids person, but like your kids are different. Like your kids, you know?
I still really, one of my favorite pictures is on one of her birthdays that I had at my other apartment, and it's you and Ren helping her with like a doll or something.
House. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a cute
that was
picture.
A good day.
I'm like, oh yes. And then I was showing her pictures. I was sharing my screen and showing her pictures from the vacation and like since she's left. And I showed her a picture from game night, and she's like, Ren and Courtney, where's Tritima? Oh my God, we have to edit that out.
Why? You didn't say anything.
I said her name.
I know, but you didn't say any kind of indication of who that is. So I'll have to edit all of this out now.
Sorry. Yeah, but she saw everyone and she was like, aw. She's like, yes, tell everyone I said hello.
Okay, I love that.
Sweet girl.
Yeah, she really is the sweetest.
Yeah.
Well, I want to keep this ball rolling.
Yes.
We literally have 20 minutes.
We got it.
So... we also have, where am I at? Okay. Our pleasure principle this week, our meat and potatoes of the episode. Happy fucking Pride.
Happy motherfucking Pride,
This is the real first episode that we've recorded during Pride Month, so honestly, we should have started with that. But we're here, we're queer, and we're ready to fucking give you 3 weeks of great content.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, of course... your driver could be LGBTQ. Your sister could be LGBTQ. Your DJ could be LGBTQ. But what does LGBTQ really mean when we're breaking it down so much? I feel like as queer people, why are we putting so many labels on ourselves? Why are there so many labels that exist?
I feel like gay is a good one.
Yeah, I think queer is the best.
Queer is the best.
It's all encompassing. Unless you're not queer, then queer is, well, still good. I feel like we're not in the early 2000s anymore. Like, people aren't like, you're queer. You know, you're a queer. It's more like, okay, thank you, queer.
I always say, like, it's hard to define sexuality because, like, it really depends.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk today about labels.
Yes.
Obviously, as non-traditional people, I feel like we should just conform to the conformative. You know what I mean? Like, let's just all call each other queer. Or like, why are we asking? Maybe ask the person that you're with, hey, what are your preferences? But why are we putting so many names on it? Anyway, so I wanted to talk about sexuality, but I also wanted to talk about appearance, and I also wanted to talk about relationship values and dynamics.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's just so many ways that we can like break down being a queer person.
Indeed.
Yeah. So obviously, like the biggest conundrum within the queer sexuality spectrum is like, what is pansexuality versus bisexuality?
Yeah.
And I know last year we had an episode all about people's coming out stories, and all of them happened to just be bisexual. It wasn't even like, or identified as bisexual to some extent. But there was actually a few of them in the group that identified as pan, but said they just tell people they were bisexual because it's like
easier.
It's easier.
What are you, attracted to dishes?
Ridiculous.
Fucking
Sometimes dumb. I don't know, those little la crusette.
Hey, if I see a good spoon, I might just put it in my pocket.
Yeah, and do those steak knives.
Yeah.
Okay. But what is the difference between pansexuality and bisexuality? Bisexuality is defined as the sexual attraction to more than one gender.
Okay.
So more than one, that could be 3, that could be 4, that could be 7, right?
Yeah.
Pansexuality is defined as the sexual attraction to people regardless of their gender.
Yeah.
Which
kind of sounds the same.
It kind of sounds the same, but it's more like when I think of myself, I think of like how I'm now identifying as pansexuality, but I was bisexual. So when I was bisexual, I always said like I'm attracted to men for their masculinity, men for their masculinity, women for their femininity.
Yeah.
And like that was just what I like. But as I like figured out I like masculinity and femininity no matter like the form that it's in.
Yeah.
I think the regardless of gender makes more sense than saying more than one gender. Like
okay, yeah.
Like
it's like it doesn't matter how you're identifying or presenting.
Exactly. Like just give me the human. Like what's the human? Do they have the qualities that I like in that human? But I still think that people that are bisexual do focus on the gender in some way. Like I really like this man because of these things. I really like this one. I don't know. Yeah. Now that I'm talking through it, I'm like, maybe it is the same. But when I was making the outline, I was like, I totally get that.
I think like societal wise, whenever people hear bisexual, they think two genders.
Yeah.
And so they automatically tie it into men and women. Yeah. And I also think that it's more about genitals than it is about like how you're presenting, which I think would be like the big difference between
that's the word
pansexual and
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because bisexual people
the
are
focus
like
on genitals.
Yeah.
Yes. Pansexuality, you're like, I don't really care what you got down there. You're
just
attractive. Just be sexy. Just be sexy, and then whatever you have when I get there is fine.
Yeah.
And that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then bisexuals are kind of like, well, I want you to be either this one or this one.
Yeah. And respond as such.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
And also present that way as well. Like if you have a vagina, they assume that you're going to present yourself as a woman.
Yeah.
If you have a penis, they assume you're going to present yourself as a man. So.
Absolutely. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Reddit obviously had quite a bit to say, both offensive and generally uneducated responses. But like they were mostly like people want to be confusing or they want to sound more interesting by identifying as pan or it's really all the same. And like I will say that that's probably one of the reasons I also took so long to say that I'm pansexual. Yeah. It's not because I don't want to be attracted to people outside of the binary. I absolutely will shout that from the rooftops. It's just more like it sounds pretentious as fuck. Yeah. You know, it's like we're kind of old school. Like I'm a little old school in some ways. Like that's like too that's like too new school for me. Yeah. You know, like I was talking to my friend that's staying with me this weekend about it and they were also like, bitch, I know I like everybody. Like I don't really care about the gender, but like I'm not gonna say I'm pansexual. Bitch. Yeah. That's too much. Like what even is that shit?
But I feel like, well, I think it's a little different for me because like I'm mostly attracted to femininity and when it comes to men, it's very, very like blurry on what I'm attracted to from them because most of the time I'm not attracted to them. I don't see them.
Is it more of an energy?
It's more of an energy. So that's also why I say I'm queer. Yeah. Because it's like if you do happen to be a man and you're also in touch with your femininity, I can usually be attracted to you 9 times out of 10. But like as women, if you're presenting like very feminine or just like soft femme girl somewhere in between even, that is also sexy to me.
Yeah.
But masculinity, I do not find attractive at all in any way whatsoever. I'm like, you need to calm the absolute fuck down. Like that masculinity is too much for me, which is why it's easier for me to say like, oh, I'm queer, because what am I attracted to? I'm attracted to femininity. And that doesn't matter what box it's wrapped in, just it needs to be a feminine one.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
So I have some stats.
Yes.
2016 survey of 2,200 non-hetero individuals showed that 19% of those 2,200 people identified as bisexual, and only 7% identified as pansexual. In 2018, they did a survey of teenagers, and this was the Human Rights Coalition. They found that 34% of people out of the 2,200 teens was bisexual, and 14% was pan. And like teenagers, I love that the world just keeps getting queer and more queer. And I think that's happening because as more people feel comfortable being able to identify themselves and present themselves as whatever they truly identify on the inside, you find more people that realize they're attracted to so many other different types of people. You know what I mean?
I think that's why there's such a thing right now of like women getting divorced and then immediately just being like gay as hell, like leaning absolutely hard into their fucking gayness. Because they're like, wow. Especially because like for so long, that's literally how it's been, where it's like, you know, if you're a woman, you're supposed to be attracted to men. But like you were saying, as we evolve as people and as the societal norms kind of change, all of that changes. This is why them Republicans be like, you're pushing the gay agenda. But it's like, I'm not pushing anything.
It's pushing itself, baby. The train is moving.
Thank you.
All we did was load up a little bit of coal to get it started.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. There are many reasons that someone may want to identify as like pan or bi. Maybe they are attracted to mainly cisgendered people. So bisexual would be accurate for them, because you could say the two genders, men and women.
Maybe that's what it is. Like cisgendered is what bisexual people are.
Well,
attracted to, maybe.
I thought that as well, but because I read the definition as bisexual, it does mean gender. One, just more than one. More than one, which to me is more like multisexual. Yeah. Like not bisexual. It's just the term.
Like, isn't bi too?
But like if we want to like take out, if we want to take out bisexual and like rework it and make it only for cisgendered people, like I guess, but like that's just, it's too late. Yeah. You know? Like it's too late for that.
We're already here.
We're already fucking here. Or like you said, they maybe want to identify as pan because gender may play more or less of a role in the initial attraction to somebody. So maybe they just know they like energy. They just like people. So pansexuality would be a better choice. And then lastly, like I said, the old school mentality, like, it's just a lot. It's a lot to identify as pan. My parents, if I really was like, hey, I am pansexual,
not bisexual.
Their brains would like short circuit. They would be like, Courtney, please just shut the fuck up. Like yesterday we decided it was okay that you were bi. Can you please?
Finally came to terms with it yesterday. Yeah.
No, yeah. They kind of have, because like whenever I tell them we're going to like the gay bars and stuff, like on Tuesday, my fucking dad, I was like, yeah, we're gonna take Diamond to one of the bars, and it's one of the ladies bars. I never like say lesbian. I always say like it's the ladies bars. And my dad was like, what? I didn't know Diamond was like lesbian. I thought she was only lesbian for Sydney. And I was like, okay.
That's really funny.
Like, okay, that's how it fucking works.
That's funny.
But yeah, I don't know why I don't use the term, but I definitely like say bisexual, or like I'll say gay, but I didn't. Lesbian, I feel like would make them be like,
I feel like people hear people's sexuality and the first place that their mind goes isn't even like, oh, you just like women. I think the first place their mind goes is like, oh, so you eat coochie.
That's what it is.
Like they sexualize it immediately.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah. And like, maybe I'm the one sexualizing it because I'm scared of saying lesbian. Like I'm worried that if I say lesbian that they're going to be like, coochie. Courtney's eating coochie tonight. She's going to find something and she's going to finger a bitch in the bathroom. Yeah. Maybe that's true, but that's really like, maybe that's not what they're thinking.
But I think that is like a big thing with sexuality. And I think that's why a lot of people, like why so many people are in a tizzy about it. Because when you hear it, the first thing you think is probably a porn scene that you've seen. Like, that's probably immediately where your brain goes, which isn't...
Instead of, like, loving a woman
or
wanting to be in community and relation with women.
Or thinking about how you're attracted to women. But it's like, is that what you think when you think about who you're attracted to? You see them and you sexualize them immediately? Like, let's unpack it. I have so many opinions on that. So.
Bitch. Let's dive in. Maybe that should be the next episode. So I also wanted to talk about additional sexualities because I found so many. And it's just like, again, I ask, why are we breaking this down so fucking much? But these were like a few of the ones that I found interesting. Androsexual is attraction to masculinity, no matter the gender of who is presenting as such. So obviously, gynosexual would be the attraction to femininity, no matter the box that it comes in.
I'm not saying that. I'm not.
So this is like pansexual, but on steroids for you.
Yeah, I'm
is it
not
the fact
saying that.
Say it real quick, babes.
What is it? Gynosexual.
Gynosexual.
I'm not a gynecologist.
But you're not a gynecologist. You're a gynosexual.
Yeah,
gynecologist. The cologist is what makes that the doctor part.
Yeah. That's no.
So you're just.
I just like.
Okay, yeah. I understand that.
Like, girl, because then I'm gonna say that, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, what is that? Are you attracted to gynecologists?"
Yeah, just like the pan situation.
Yeah, it's just like the pan situation.
There's just so many jokes. Why are we joking so much? I'm going to put a pin in that, though. I just want to run through these.
Okay.
Obviously, asexuality, which is a spectrum. So I found what the spectrum is.
Yeah, there is a spectrum.
There's a ton. I just picked, let me see. I just picked a few to chat about because I know we are running out of time. But there are sex-averse asexuals, which is when a person is entirely disinterested in sex and sexual behavior as a whole. There's favorable. Thank you. Sex favorable asexuals, which is when a person has positive feelings towards sex in some situations.
Yeah.
Sex indifferent, obviously those who feel neutral about sex and sexual behavior. Sex repulsed, which is people who are disgusted by sex.
I've met an asexual like that.
I cannot wait to hear that 1 second.
Yeah.
Cupiosexual is when somebody does not experience sexual attraction, but they still desire to engage in sexual behavior or have a sexual relationship, which
like
is
masturbating or like a fuck buddy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it says they do not experience sexual attraction. So maybe I'm not sexually attracted, but I have horny feelings in my body. Like biologically, I am.
So maybe it's like, I think you're cute, and so like maybe you can fulfill this need for me real quick. But I'm not like sexually attracted to you, but I'm wanting
to fulfill
sex.
the need.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Libidoist asexual refers to someone who identifies as asexual but experiences sexual feelings that can be satisfied with masturbation or self-stimulation. So libidoist, so that's just like a biological thing. You're like, I'm horny, I need to take care of it, but I'll take care of it myself. Yeah. I'm just doing this because I am physically horny.
Yeah.
Gray sexual. They experience sexual attraction either infrequently or not very intensely. I feel like I know somebody like that. And then gray romantic is when asexual people experience romantic attraction either rarely or not very strongly.
A little confusing.
It's a little confusing. But it's a spectrum, and I can understand the spectrum. You know, you fall somewhere in between all those as an asexual person. Then there's autosexual, which is attraction or love for oneself, but not other people. And that's what I need to be on, bitch. I need to be fucking myself. I need to be loving myself. Demisexual requires a strong emotional bond. I think that's a throwaway, personally.
Okay.
And it's just because I've seen a lot of like profiles on like Hinge,
that
Tinder,
are like demisexual.
and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They want to be intellectually stimulated. They can only be like attracted to you if you're intellectually stimulating to them.
Intellectually or emotionally. And isn't that just a friend? Like, that's the thing that confuses me. It's like, you wouldn't be around people that don't stimulate you intellectually or emotionally.
Yeah.
I understand like hookups. That's like saying, okay, I don't like hookups. I get that. I'm sorry. If you're demisexual, because I know a lot of queer people do identify as demisexual. Yes. So I am
not
sorry.
shaming you in any way.
I'm not.
We're just saying, how does your brain work? And like a genuine question, like, how did you come to that conclusion, and what about that sexuality like really identifies with you?
Thank you. And like, what makes you want to say that you're a demisexual?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to know.
From a queer to a queer, it's a genuine question.
Thank you. We talked about gynosexual as well. Obviously, lesbian is a sexual attraction, but I included this one because I wanted to talk about what it was. The definition on this site says that some non-binary people may also identify as lesbian because they feel a closer connection to womanhood and are mainly attracted to women.
Yeah.
Do you think that is a better descriptor for you?
Possibly, yeah, because because when you're assimilated into society as a gender, and that's kind of like how you've been your whole life, you know, I definitely do connect a lot with my womanhood, and like especially as a Black woman, like that really connects with me. And I want to say yes, but like also there are so many like femme boys that I find very attractive.
Yeah.
There are like trans women that I also find very attractive. So it's kind of, I mean, trans women are women, so there's that. But like it just is kind of like gray for me, especially because sometimes every once in a blue moon I will be attracted to a man. So it's not like I can't be attracted to them. It's just like most of the time I'm not.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the time I'm not.
You're mainly attracted to women.
Yes. I just kind of see you as a person, which is why I feel like it's so difficult to put a label on it, which is why I'm just like
queer.
I'm queer, babes. Just
their whole being is queer anyway. Like gender identity, appearance, all of it. Like throw it out the window.
Just know I'm out here being gay as hell.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when I say, oh, I'm queer. Like,
yeah,
I'm gay as hell. I'm for the girls.
100%.
There.
I have a few more. Poly, pan, omnisexual. Attraction to all genders regardless of gender. Poly, pan, omni. All those really are the same thing. So why do we have 17 words to describe them? You know what I mean? It's weird. These two, though, I was interested. Scoliosexual. Scoliosexual is not the attraction to people with scoliosis. It is the attraction to only non-binary individuals.
Okay.
Which I didn't know could be a thing.
But how do you know? Never mind. Sometimes you can kind of look at someone and be like, that's a they, them right there.
But do they know they're a they, them? And in the fact that they don't know they're a they, them, does that make them less of a they, them? Are they still a they, them if they don't know they're a they, them? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all just...
I also think people find comfort in labels.
Yes. Yes. Okay, this is the last one.
I blame the patriarchy.
Bitch, I wanted to throw a pan at the wall.
Okay.
And whether that's a pansexual or a pot and pan.
That was a good one.
Somebody's going against a wall. Spectrosexual is the attraction to multiple sexes, genders, and gender identities, but not all of them. Who sits in a college university campus and makes up these fucking words and then tries to incorporate them in their research to sound smart?
Yeah, I really want to know what's going on there.
Spectrosexual.
It sounds like
a human being. It sounds like a human being. You're saying attraction to multiple sexes, genders, and gender identities, but not all of them.
I find some humans sexy is what that sounds like to me.
This is just sexual identities and all of the different labels we have for that. That's like not even including how we present.
Yeah.
And then the type of relationships that we have within those presentations and those sexual identities.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I think it's also fun to discuss because for people that just really do not conform, we are just so conforming within our group, and it's like really separating. You know, why can't we just love everybody? I'm like, I got a tarot reading at this library thing that me and Diamond went to on Wednesday. They had like little jewelry, like it was a little fair inside of the library. It was like 4 people, but there was a tarot guy, and it seemed like he was new.
Yeah.
It was this black gay guy.
Yeah.
And he pulled some cards for me, and he was like, I feel like you need to slow down when you speak. Like you speak very quickly, but also like from an emotional place. And I'm like, oh my God, I was just thinking the other day, I really need to slow down. And I specifically, I'm talking about the speed of which I speak, but also like because I speak so fast, my brain can't catch up. But if
Yeah.
I give myself time to think about what I'm saying, then better things would come out.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to do that a little
Okay.
better. Anyway, we're talking about spectrosexuals.
Yeah.
This isn't even like a gay problem, honestly. This is more like a scientific problem, or like an anthropology professor problem.
Yeah.
That's what these words are.
Oh, because they're the ones who come up with
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay.
Like, bitch, chill.
Maybe we should like get a room full of them and like get the whole queer community, and we can just jump all the anthropologists.
Yeah. I'd also like to ask, how many of you anthropologists are LGBTQ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your anthropologist could be LGBTQ.
And obviously, maybe not, because this is a lot of fucking words. And I feel like if I just ask somebody, a queer person on the street, like, hey, do you identify as a scoliosexual? They'd be like, bitch, what the fuck is that?
I also think that the labels help cisgendered straight people. I think it also helps them, like it gives them some kind of end to understanding because they're like, okay, well, so, but also, like, I know probably back in like the 1500s and shit when people were gay, like especially like when women were gay, they were just witches and spinsters and things like that. Like they didn't really have a word for it. They just knew that this person, and they would just say she's kind of queer or he's kind of queer. Like, you know, I think that was probably, so I really like the whole I'm queer identification of everything. Because it just seems like it fits. But because straight people and the society we live in today, they need to understand and they need things to fit a certain way. I think that is also why there are so many labels. I don't really think it's for the gay community. I think it's for everyone else outside of the gay community. So that way you can be like, oh, so that's what you are. Like they feel like they understand it. But it's a spectrum, because like even it even goes back to like people who identify as lesbians but they only date studs, or people like, or even like studs who only date studs, or queer people that only date trans people. Like I just feel like it is so many different things, but at the end of the day the label will help someone understand more. But like, you know, like I don't know, it just is I just think we need to stop trying to put each other in a box to better be understood by people who aren't even in our community. Because like when you're with gays and you're like, oh, I'm just dating this person, they're like, it's not even like a big deal. It's not even like oh, you're a this or you're a this.
And until you get to like certain types of people like studs and butches that are like, oh, you're bi? Oh, no, I'm not fucking with you.
Because the biphobia is very real.
Or like, maybe not pan, but like I don't know how they feel about the pansexuals because it's such a new term.
Yeah.
Into the common lexicon.
Yeah.
Like not everybody 20 years ago, 15 years ago was using pan. I think now people know.
And if you talk to the old heads, the old gays, they'll literally
the
be
ones
like,
sitting up in Marty's on Tuesday night.
Yeah, literally. Seriously. Or even just like I find that a lot of like older lesbians, and you know, we have encountered a couple of them here on the podcast, where like anything outside of straight, gay, lesbian, and bisexual isn't valid to them because it doesn't make sense to them. Because they're like, well, back in my day, it was either this or this. There wasn't all these genders and all these trans people like but it's like it's because it also wasn't safe. It doesn't mean that they weren't there. It just means that we didn't give them a label. We didn't give them a box to put themselves in, so they were just kind of out in the open. Yeah. And now that there are more boxes for people to put themselves in, now you're seeing more of the boxes on the shelf, and you're like, well, why are there so many now? Yeah. But it's like,
they've always been there. They've just been pushed away or exiled or conformed into something else to fit one of the other boxes available.
Exactly. So I think it's like a slippery slope, and it's a real gray area, the labels, for me at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the labels fit into a gray area for me.
Absolutely. That was actually one of my questions for the girls. How do you feel about labels? Bitch, you just said it.
Yeah.
Cause for the birds.
Yeah, I just say
they're queer. For other people, like you said. Yeah. They're just for other people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, actually, we don't have to label ourselves as anything.
Yeah, we don't. I think that I also get along a lot better with queer people that know the labels, but they don't really care about them.
Yeah.
Because like I don't care about them.
Right.
But like some some queer people do care about them. Are you a lesbian? Okay, we can date. Oh, you've dated a man once. I'm not fucking with you, you know, like, or you find masculinity attractive. I'm not fucking with you, like things like that. I think it's like a very, very slippery slope there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I luckily have never personally come across one of those lesbians that I don't want to say discriminatory, but discriminatory.
You want to know what?
Bisexuals?
You have actually. Well, I don't think you met.
Which one is it? Tell me, baby. Tell me now.
I don't think you like. Did you ever meet that Caucasian woman? Did you ever meet her?
Your Caucasian one?
She's not mine.
The old one that used to be yours?
Yeah.
Hell no, you wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you because, and you know why? It's because of her very strong opinions on bisexual people. That I was like, yeah, I don't think, and just because she was just rude and I didn't like it. God, and like she was rude about you because of how we were connecting. And I can I can't understand it because it's like, just be nice. Like, but like whenever it came to any kind of bisexual, that was like one thing that I would never feel very comfortable expressing, is if I did meet a man or if I had like past experiences with men, I didn't really feel comfortable sharing those experiences with her because she was like, it's either or. You like one or you like the other. Like, it's either or. She was definitely one of those. Don't know if she still is. I ain't talked to that bitch since like 2019. So who knows? But like, yeah, she definitely was one of those. It's either or. If you do like men, then you're more likely to leave for a man and like all these other things. And I mean, like, I could easily leave you for a bitch. So like,
And did.
So and absolutely did. The fuck?
That actually does not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you ever tell her that you identified as bisexual? Well, back then, like back in 2019, was that ever a conversation that you were bisexual or that you had been with men in the past?
No, like I would say I expressed that I had been with men in the past, but I didn't. I don't think there's ever been a moment that I identified as bisexual because like, I feel like that would have to also come with like me wanting to pursue something more than just like an orgasm with them. And I have never felt, probably will never feel inclined to date a man in the same capacity that I love to date women and feminine individuals. Like, it just has never coincided. Like, it doesn't work for me, you know? And then I also think about how I've been to play parties and there are men there and like I can, in the right setting, you know, you get me horny enough, I'm with it. But like when it comes to like play parties that I've had with like trans men and trans women, that shit is like a no-brainer for me. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, this bitch is sexy.
In there,
absolutely. So like that's why it's but no, I've never had a conversation or like any kind of inclination to identify as bisexual. I've always either said that I'm lesbian or I'm queer. Those are like the only two that I've ever thrown out.
Lesbian. I wanted to talk also about appearance.
Yeah.
As if defining our sexuality isn't enough, now we have to also pick an aesthetic that goes along with that sexual identity. So obviously, like, we have the masks, the femmes, the stems, right? But then there's like subgroups in that bitch, like the lipstick lesbian, the chapstick lesbian,
the gold star lesbian,
butch boy, blue jean femme, which I was like, that sounds like white girl stems.
Sounds like a Lana Del Rey song.
Well, blue jeans
femme.
That's the remix.
Yeah, the remix featuring Kehlani.
I genuinely think that's like the white version of stem.
Yeah,
like. You like have a feminine like appearance, but you might dress more masculine or like mascara. I don't fucking know what that shit means because it's all like just based on the person.
Yeah.
Butch versus boy. I found this on Reddit. Okay. According to Reddit, the difference is the playfulness in the boy. Okay. So like there's butches and then there's boys. Oh, hold on. It's from a website called Lesbians on the Loose.
Ooh,
They have an Instagram and they have a podcast and they have all this stuff. Okay. And it says, been connecting with communities in Australia since 1989.
We should follow them.
We should definitely follow them. A lifeline for many and a leading voice for queer women. Lesbians on the Loose magazine. Okay. So we're back. Lesbians on the Loose magazine had a very detailed description of the 5 main types of lesbians.
Yeah.
I do want to stress that this is the 5 main types of white lesbians, but I thought it would be fun for us to replace them with things that are black.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the butch traits: shaved hair, baggy jeans, disdain for knitwear, most likely to be insulted if you call them a bisexual.
Yeah.
Least likely to own a pair of heels. Lesbian calling card, multiple cat owner.
Okay.
Celebrity examples is Jane Lynch.
Okay.
You didn't watch Orange is the New Black, right?
I did.
Okay, Boo, Big Boo.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the examples they have.
Okay, so that's a stud.
That's a stud.
Yeah.
Traits, buzz cut.
If you
or a fade.
This is the differentiator because if you are white, you cannot also be a stud.
No.
That's not the same thing.
No.
That comes from a time, and there is a specific reason that black masculine presenting lesbians are called studs. If you are a white masculine presenting lesbian, you are butch.
Or if you prefer, not if I prefer, because I would not call you this, but you guys call each other this.
Yeah.
A dyke.
Oh, that seems like that's like the C word.
That's what I thought too. But then people are literally walking around, but it's like how we say niggas. So again, I'm not calling you guys that.
Yeah. And if you don't be offended.
Yeah. Anyway, so the stud, locks.
Yes.
Fade.
Yes. Sneaker collection.
Definitely.
Mad jeans.
Mad jeans and jean jackets, bro.
Mad jeans.
Distressed jeans.
Studs love jeans, bro.
Most likely to get into a fight at a club.
Most likely to be someone's step stud, daddy, whatever you want to call it.
Least likely to date bisexuals.
Least likely to date bisexuals. Least likely to also have a whole, I don't know. I feel like a lot of studs now have women friend groups, but I feel like a lot of studs have a lot of men friends.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough studs, but the studs I do know have a mass of women friends. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. Okay. The second, let's skip that. I don't agree. 3, the boy babe or the boy.
Okay.
Traits: Justin Bieber hair. Dungarees and DCs. Don't know what that shit is.
I think it's a shoe or a shirt.
Let's find out. I'm curious. What's a dungaree?
Bitch, what the fuck is a dungaree?
Okay. Oh, it's a brand.
Oh, it's a brand.
So
okay,
some kind of jean.
Okay.
Some kind of jean. Okay. Most likely to have a fast-paced career.
Okay.
Least likely to consider floral dresses acceptable.
Okay.
Lesbian calling card, designer eyewear. Celebrity example: Ellen DeGeneres, Ellen Page, Justin Bieber.
Okay. For black people, I think that would probably be a STEM.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Because you are feminine, how those people can be feminine, but you also red. It makes me think of red because for work especially, she dresses kind of mask.
Yeah.
The outfit she was wearing yesterday, I was like, this is giving kind of mask daddy. I like it.
Yeah.
So I think that is probably what that would be, is a STEM kind of thing.
Okay, I was thinking STEM too because one, they have they have a masculine aura, but they're very in touch with their femininity, so they tend to be more relaxed. I feel like studs are constantly in a loop of trying to prove themselves to be the most masculine person in the room.
The most white masculine. I think that is a lot of studs and butch lesbians. It's not even that they're trying to be masculine, they're trying to be white masculine, which is kind of the worst kind.
So yeah, the stems just have a little bit more, they're looser, they have more fun, they smile harder, Ooh. Oh my God, for a stem. Okay, most likely to be in a long-term relationship with another light skin. Most likely to be light skin.
Most likely to be light skin. Most likely to be dating a man.
Stem?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And you look at them and you be like, oh, this person is queer, and then they're like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something's not right here.
Lesbian calling card, I'm going to say beanies.
Yeah. Okay.
Or like flannel shirts.
Flannel shirts. Calling card, even leasing office agent.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Celebrity examples of stems. Queen Latifah.
Yes, Queen Latifah.
Janelle Monáe sometimes. But
yeah.
no, not really recently. She's been very hyper femme recently.
I would say like early 2000s Janelle Monáe.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. Lipstick lesbian.
Okay.
Traits: quirky fashion, liquid eyeliner, most likely to follow Kristen Stewart on Twitter, least likely to drink lager. The lesbian calling card is their colleagues think they're straight. Celebrity examples: Portia de Rossi, Laura Prepone, Orange is the New Black Lady. If you guys, the redhead from that 70s show.
Yeah. I think that would just be a femme.
Yeah, that would just be a femme.
Yeah.
Traits: bust down weaves.
Yeah.
Long braids.
Heels everywhere.
Definitely.
Very fashionable.
Yeah, fashion baddie. It's just she's a baddie.
Yeah.
Most likely to be dating a stud.
Yes. Oh. Yes.
Least likely to
be dating a man. I feel like those ones are usually like not
super gay.
Or even least likely to that's a good one. I think least likely to have any men in their friend group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Most likely to be a stripper.
Ooh, yeah.
Lesbian calling card, definitely same with the liquid eyeliner. Colored hair.
Probably works a 9 to 5 in an office.
Yes. The last one.
Okay.
The alpha. Traits. They pout. Short hair. Terrifyingly unapproachable. Most likely to have at least 4 tattoos. Least likely to ever talk to me. That's what it says on the website.
That's funny.
Lesbian calling card. Turning straight women.
Yeah.
Celebrity example. Rihanna. Shane from the L Word.
Rihanna.
That's what it says on here. I'm sure they just wanted to put somebody black. They're like, we don't have any black people on the website. We need to put somebody black.
Yeah.
The alpha is definitely like your, what do you call it? Your aggressive femme.
Yeah, I would say that's me.
Yeah.
You were like reading it and I was like, yeah.
Immediately. Like when I read it the first time, I was like, this is Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely short hair, terrifyingly unapproachable. Most likely to have at least 4 tattoos. Yes, you definitely do. Absolutely. But also most likely to have a badass femme on her.
At all times. Either like partner wise, either like friends with benefits wise. Whole friend group is nothing but absolute baddie femmes.
Most likely to be taller than all her friends.
Yes.
Least likely to ever date a man.
Yes.
Most
likely to be mean to men as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Lesbian calling card. Big ass tits.
Yeah. Also turning straight women.
I was definitely not straight before I met you, but I definitely.
You did get gayer.
I did get a lot gayer. Okay?
And it's like every year I know you just get gayer. You were not straight. You were predominantly dating men, but like afterwards, it has just gotten gayer and gayer over the last 5 years. So
100%.
Yeah.
I loved this website. I was like, this is so funny. I'm about to see like what other articles they have on there. I'm gonna post this though in the comments because it was really funny. So if you guys want to read it, they have more of a description of these as well. I just kind of read like the stats essentially.
Yeah. The alpha though, do not get that confused with alpha male energy because ew.
No, it's not the same. It's more of like being secure.
Oh, I'm talking to them.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're doing so good.
Do you see that?
Oh,
do you see the intimidation? The unapproachableness?
Yeah, but like that is a part of that's like a whole part of my charm.
Yeah.
Like I like to look like you can't talk to me.
Yeah.
And then when you start talking to me, well, depending.
Yeah, it's also like, did they approach you the right way? Mm-hmm. Just don't piss you off.
Yeah.
I think you've always been a very friendly, outgoing, very like available person.
Yeah.
It's just for men, typically you're automatically on the what's up?
Yeah.
Like what do you
get
need?
To the
get
point.
to the point. Don't come at me with all this motherfucking fluff. Lastly, I wanted to talk about relationship dynamics within the queer community. We just have so many names. And also, this does not only apply to the queer community because all these things can be done with straight people, I'm just saying. But swingers,
Yes.
ethically non-monogamous, open relationship, polyamorous. It's like the umbrella term would be ethically non-monogamous, I imagine.
Yes.
Of that, like, that's what the umbrella is. And then underneath that would be the open relationship, polyamory, and swingers.
Yes.
So I know the difference between open relationship and polyamory to be like less communication between the partners. Like, so I have a boyfriend, but I also have like a fuck buddy on the side, and then I date around. To me, that's an open relationship. To me, polyamory becomes something where it's like I have a boyfriend and I have a girlfriend and they know each other and we hang out. Like we might go grab dinner, or like I introduced them at some point and said, hey, this is my girlfriend. Hey, this is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, maybe y'all have each other's phone numbers because you're both my emergency contacts.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the difference between polyamorous and an open relationship is sexual versus emotional.
Okay.
So like I feel like an open relationship is purely to like fulfill a sexual need.
Yeah.
So like if you do happen to be a bisexual person or a pansexual person or just someone who is with a gender you're not always attracted to or
exclusively.
Yeah, exactly. So like then you still feel like you need something more than what you're getting in the pairing that you are in. So you open your relationship so that way you can still be emotionally connected to this person, have a life with this person, build a family with this person, but then you can also go and fulfill those queer sexual needs that you have or whatever they might be. And then polyamory I think would be like, I don't think every polyamorous couple is meeting their partner's what is it called? There's a word for
anchor
it.
partner, primary partner.
Yeah, like I don't think that all polyamorous couples are meshing their relationships together.
Yeah, not necessarily. I guess I just
not
mean
meshing, but like
the familiarity that like you guys really know. In an open relationship, I'm thinking like that. Like, okay, you went out on a Friday night. I know you were doing something, but I don't know who it was with, and I choose not really to involve myself. But as a polyamorous person, if I was your primary partner and you were going and dating somebody else, I would be like, who is this person? Are they good to you? I want to meet them. And like, because that's somebody that's taking care of somebody that I love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's true. Like, not everybody is going to do that. Maybe they are just like, that's your relationship. This is your relationship.
I guess I'm going based off like most of the people that I've met that have been in open relationships.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's not like an emotional thing. Like,
right. What about poly?
Poly, I feel like is usually like if I am in a monogamous relationship and then I'm like, oh, I want to open my relationship, depending on what that looks like, most of the time I'm not meaning like, oh, I want to get another like partner like how you and I are. Most of the time it's like I'm wanting to have another friends with benefits kind of thing. But if I was already dating someone and I'm like, oh, I met this person, I really vibe with this person and I want to date them, I feel like that would be more polyamorous to me, mostly because it's including my emotions and not just my sex drive.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense to me. Of course, I have questions for the girls.
Yes.
After hearing some of these different labels, does it change the label you give yourself? And what are your labels?
I don't think it changes my labels. But I mean, I would identify as a queer, femme, non-binary individual. Yeah, I don't think, there are so many, and I think that because I identified as a lesbian for so long and I realized like how, I don't want to say like limiting, but I realized how much of a box I was putting myself in because of that. I was just like, oh, well, you know, and then I started exploring my sexuality, especially in my early 20s. I was like dating couples. I was like going out with men to gauge how much I like them, you know, things like that. So I don't think it would change anything. I'm definitely still a queer person, 100%. Very femme as well.
And what kind of person are you typically attracted to, and has it changed over the years?
It has definitely changed over the years. Like, I think, you know, I'm from a small town. I went to one of the like biggest high schools that we have that was a predominantly white space. So I think like I got used to seeing like white people. So I was like, oh yeah, this is like what I'm attracted to. I think you're pretty. And I think I got that confused with I'm sexually attracted to you.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I can think you're gorgeous and not be sexually attracted to
Absolutely.
you. But like getting older and meeting new people and just kind of like exploring myself, I definitely will always see a beautiful Black woman. It doesn't really I don't want to say it doesn't really matter, because it does matter what you look like to me, but I just find so many different kinds of Black women attractive. And I always say, like, if you lined up all the women in the last like 5 or 6 years that I have been with, it is just such a wide variety of like style, height, body type, skin color, still Black people, but like it's just so different. They have different interests, they have different professions, things like that. Like,
No, they don't.
I'm
sorry, I forgot there's people on YouTube. No,
Yeah.
I was shaking my head hard. The second she said different interests and professions, I said, no, they don't.
Yeah, no, you're
They
right.
really don't.
You're right.
I'm
you're
sorry.
right,
Let me say it. Can I say it one more time?
Go ahead.
They don't.
Okay.
Red is the first person that doesn't have a very specific type of trait, however, which is a musician or some kind of artist. But however, she's very creative and like very passionate about certain things. So like, I think you can say you're attracted to passion, but do not say profession, because I'm so sorry. You're like 0 for 4.
Sorry.
Like, it's
sorry.
really bad.
That was a lie. But yeah, I find so many like Black women attractive, especially like if you're like a thickums.
The best part.
And that could range from slim thick to like thick to like fat, like all of those things. It really doesn't matter. I just have good style, be sexy. I like teeth and I like eyes. So have those things that I like, and like really you could get it.
You're done. It's done.
Yeah.
I would say my type has definitely changed over the years.
Yeah.
I used to be like really attracted to like Latin people as a whole,
Specifically Hispanic Latin men.
and
Yeah.
and women. Trust me.
Yeah.
Very much so. I don't know why. I think also just the environment that I was in.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go to school with a lot of Black people. I actually didn't even go to school with a lot of white people. I went to school with a lot of like Indian, South Indian, Mexican, like very multicultural. So brown people. That's what it is. Brown people. And so like I was really attracted to brown people. And then like early 20s is when I was started mixing more with Black people, because I also went to Texas Tech. So I did not go to school with a bunch of Black people, and the Black people that were there were anyway.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? Oh, so then when I moved back to Dallas as an adult, I started dating Black people, and I love me some Black people.
Yes.
I realized that I don't have a type when it comes to women that I'm sexually attracted to.
Yeah.
Or people necessarily I'm sexual, but I have a very specific type of people I want to date.
Yeah.
And it's more like a personality thing. But like when it comes to women, now, as long as you are not white, I'll pretty much be like, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe, but I prefer like thick bitches. I prefer women that are also either creative or like are very goal oriented about their job, because sometimes I'm not, so I like to see that. But I also realized lately that I haven't been open to like dating or talking to femme women now that I'm single, because I also think I'm very intimidated by women right now. Like I think where I want to be, like I'm not there yet in my life. Like I just feel like right now I'm just trying to figure a lot of things out. And so when I see women that like, I just get envious before I get sexually attracted. I'm like, oh, you're beautiful. But I'm like, oh God, what are they gonna think about me? Because oh my God, that'll just reiterate how I already think about myself. Like, so I've just been kind of staying away from certain femme women, but like I want to get back in there.
Yeah, and you know, whenever we were having the conversation in the club the other day, or that you don't remember, I was like, it just sounds like you're a little scared.
I'm not scared of talking to women. I'm scared of. It's not even that I'm scared. I'm just more like I don't want to put myself in the position to feel like already more inadequate. That's what it is. Okay. Like I feel inadequate. I'm not scared to be around women. I know how to conduct myself enough to like.
That's not the
really?
kind of scared I was talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have let you speak.
I meant scared as in like I think it goes back into like you feeling inadequate. I think like scared about how they're going to react, how they're going to take you, like where it would go. I think that is what
no
contributes to it.
No, actually, I think not even how they're going to react. It's more like I want to be in a position to like be somebody that I would want to fuck or be in a relationship with. And there's parts of me that I'm like, I would get the ick. Yeah. If I found out about you, I would get the ick.
Yeah.
So I want to be like somebody that can take you out. Like I want to be able to take you out. I want to be able to like be a very confident individual. And like right now I'm just not a confident individual. So it's less about like how they're going to react to me and more like I want to be the best person around these bad bitches because
that's what women deserve.
And why don't men think like that?
I was just about to say that.
Why are we the only people thinking like that?
If men thought like how lesbians think or like how queer people think about like going to really gorgeous women, I think that they would be getting more bitches.
Like, I don't want to waste your time. You know? I want to like, yeah. But when it comes to men, my type is, it used to be like hyper masculine. It is so much better now. I really need like a soft man. And like, I want you to look like a man, like on the outside. Absolutely, sure. Wear earrings, wear a skirt, whatever. I just like the build. Yeah. Is important to me. But like, other than that, I really appreciate like a calm person. Like Green, I'm not even thinking about dating them, but like their personality is very suitable. Like that's what I want the men that I choose to surround myself with or give my body to. That's what I need them to have. That's what my ex, I never gave him a fucking name, but my ex, that's what he was too. Very soft, very like, for the most part, very patient, like never really yelled. Like I just like a patient, soft man. Yeah. That doesn't have to say a lot. Don't talk.
Don't talk too much. Yeah.
Talk too much.
I felt that.
Yeah. What type of lesbian do you think you are? Obviously, I think you're an alpha femme. Yeah. You think you're an alpha femme.
Yeah, I would go with that. Or, you know, assertive femme, aggressive femme, whatever you would want to call it. Yeah. Like whenever other lesbians are coming to me or other women who are attracted to women are coming to me and they're like talking about how hard it is for them to talk to women, I just don't understand that because like they're like, well, I go and tell them that they're pretty and then they don't take it seriously. But I'm like, how are you telling them? That is the thing. Like, it's really about like, how are you telling them, how you're looking at them also. And like, you have to approach them with with that energy in you that like, oh, I think you're sexy in that way.
Let me tell you, this just fucking happened to me. Yeah. This person that I don't really talk to DM'd me 2-3 days ago and was like, this was like maybe Monday. And she was like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, girl, long time no see. How are you doing? And I literally looked at my phone like, we do not talk. Why is this person hitting me up? Yeah. So like we had I was like, hey, how are you doing? Because like they're still a friend. So I was like, how are you doing? We had a conversation and it kind of trailed off. I went to sleep. 2 days later, she messages me again and is like, hey, so sorry to keep bothering you, but if you're not to be too forward, but I would like to eat your pussy and take you to a movie. And I was like, perfect. There we go. Now, because I would have never gotten it from, hey girl, how are you? DMing that? Do you want to go get ice cream? Yeah. Are you checking in to see if I can play a set? Yeah. Are you trying to get me hired somewhere? That's literally what I was thinking when she messaged me. Yeah. So it's definitely about the approach. It's definitely I'm not saying that you should walk up to people in the club and be like, I would love to eat your pussy and take you to a movie. Like, I think the vibes have to be right.
You have to lower your eye. You got to lower your eyes.
Talk real slow.
Lower your voice, and you need to be checking them out while you're talking to them.
Smile.
You have to be checking them out when you talk to them. You got to add a little spice. And so what you're saying, Courtney, it just reminds me of like whenever you and I first met, and like how that, even though Courtney was like, I think you messaged me first in that way. Yeah. Yeah, but like I feel like we kept that going though, like afterwards. So I think that it reminds me of that, like when we would be hanging out or we'd be texting, it's like, oh, you looked really good today. But it's not like, oh, you looked really good today. It's like, you looked so good today, and I just really cannot stop thinking about how good you look today. That's gay.
There's ways to say it.
That's gay. Like, you need to be speaking to them gay. Like, you're not speaking gay, you're speaking bestie, and that is where you
you
bitches
lose
are.
me.
Yes, because if you're speaking in bestie to me, I'm not thinking about nothing else other than, oh, cool, this person wants to be my friend.
And you never know, like, I don't know. You just never know when they would be interested unless you take that shot.
Yeah.
There's a girl in Denver that started talking to me about angel numbers because I had my 111 necklace on. She had a 555. And, like, we had a whole conversation, and she kept, like, leaning in. But then I left, and as I left, I was like, this bitch hitting on me.
Yeah.
That bitch was hitting on me. Make it known. I would have done something. I would have fucked. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to be more discretionary. Being in this new era where I'm an adult, like a real adult. I'm not 22 and queer. I'm like almost 30 and queer.
Career,
you know,
social media everywhere, like
literally
things like that.
I'm trying to be more like intentional about the women that especially the women that I'm actually going after. I'm not like, that's why when I was talking to you earlier about some other stuff, and I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, is this weird? Like, it's more because I don't really know if I'm like actually interested.
Yeah.
But I don't want to I just want experiences, but like I want experiences with people I really actually want to experience.
Yeah.
So I think that's hard for me as like a new single queer person is like, I love pussy, but I don't want all pussy. But how do I decide which pussy I want?
I think like whenever I think about like women that I have been choosing, especially after my last like serious relationship, it's always been like women that I can connect with on a friend level, but also eat out every now and then.
Yeah.
Like that to me, because I don't see marriage, like I don't think about it. That's not like a goal of mine to aspire to. I aspire to a community of multiple people that give me different kinds of love in any kind of way. That is what I aspire to. So I think that is what I seek whenever I'm like talking to women. Like, can I actually get a friendly vibe off of you and still kind of be flirty and see where that goes?
Yeah.
And then also, like, if we are being friends and like we are also being intimate, if we're not being intimate, can we also still be friends? Like that, and like actual friends where like I can tell you about the shit that I'm doing, you can tell me about the shit that you're doing, and it's not going to be like a whole hoopla. Like, it's not going to be a whole fucking thing. Like, we can communicate about what we're doing and it not be like, wow, I can't believe you would do that. Anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, we can still be intimate and still be friends. And I think that is really the kind of friend group that I'm cultivating. Yeah. So when I had my birthday party at my old apartment and everybody was there, and Courtney was like, do you realize that there's only like 2 women in this room that you haven't had sex with? And I'm like, yeah, I did realize that, bitch. Thanks a lot.
I love when I say funny shit like that because it was true.
I'm like, yeah, I did notice that. And I don't have a problem with that either, because that also makes me feel so comfortable, and it also makes me feel so safe as well, because it's like, I mean, like, I trusted you in like a vulnerable moment, so why can't, like, I'm sure I can trust you in other ways, you know?
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I think it's actually representative more of the fact that you really live this queer lifestyle, and that you also just are very confident, or I guess maybe not confident, or maybe comfortable with things, like with how things change, with change and like growth.
I don't like change. I can get comfortable in it. Like, I like change. Like, me and Red have had conversations about what would it look like if one of us started to seriously date someone, or something like that, you know? And it's like, I don't like it. And like, even when you and I, like, it's like, I don't like change, but I do understand that, like, I can value a person, and I wouldn't be here and in your face and with you if I didn't value you and like you as a individual outside of everything else that we're doing. So like, why would I not like keep you in my life? Like, why is it that if we're not being physical, then we can't be friends? Like, that doesn't make sense to me, because like, what, am I only seeing you for your body? Am I only seeing you for like sexual reasons? Like, I'm not a nigga. The fuck?
Defeats the purpose. Yeah.
Which is why I feel like you should fuck your friends. You know, I feel like it's okay.
Literally a whole other episode, which I'm actually sure we've done, but I'm happy to do it again.
Yes.
We have different sides of this coin, which I also go back and forth on. It just is more another episode.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can follow us on Instagram at allyourpleasures_ and TikTok, same, at allyourpleasures_. Like and subscribe to our YouTube. Definitely leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. If you're listening to this on a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Friday, bitch, we love you. Happy Pride. Bye.